Okay, welcome. Thanks for joining us. This is episode 2 of the run-up to Sledge Shootout, SS360 2010 in Southern Pines. I, of course, am Sledge, and I am joined once again, honored to have this year's captain, co-captain with Dennis Reardon of one of the squads for the shootout, Breen Reardon. Welcome, Breener.
Thanks, Sledge. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. We're happy to have you again. You may have noticed we changed the set here at Sledge Shootout Studios. We've moved into more of a living room, armchair kind of scenario, and that fits because I'm real excited to introduce a new segment this week, and that is called Ask the Captain. We do have a real live, first-time captain of a Sledge Shootout team here with us, and what we're going to do tonight is we're going to have real people, just like yourselves, with questions that we've gotten via email, actual letters, believe it or not, texts that have come in, and people have just been clamoring for information and they want to be part of the shootout. And so I'm going to read you a few of the ones from, like I said, just real normal people, actual emails, and get your feedback as captain of one of the squads this year.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so we're real excited. We're only 10 days away from the shootout, and in terms of details and updates, all that will be coming up pretty soon. But I've talked to Patty Thompson, and we're on board with I think it's going to be a real special event. So, like I said, I'll be forwarding all that information. But today's more about just sort of, letting sort of the common man get a little piece of someone like you who is in a position of they could probably never imagine. So I think it'll maybe dig in, sort of get inside your head a little bit. So this first question comes from a guy named John from Twinsburg, and he says, Captain Breen, how do you manage to keep the sun off the top of your head? Captain?
John, that's not difficult for those of us who are still blessed with a full head of hair. But if you have a little peninsula going on there, a little swirl up there, I would recommend a cap.
Yeah.
Maybe a baseball cap.
Or if they have like a hurricane beard going, is there anything special in terms of skin treatment that?
Well, look, all exposed skin should have a little SPF 45 or above.
Yeah.
I recommend the Neutrogena. If we need to, we can have a little session there the night before where a couple of the Reardons can show their scars from being cut up.
Yeah.
Due to sun exposure.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: you got to slather it on. Just slather it.
I like your advice.
Or John.
John, yeah.
Yeah, John. I'm sorry.
John, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's one from Edward in Poland, Ohio, and he writes, Captain Breener, what do you think are the best ways to prepare mentally and physically for the shootout?
Edward. It depends. If you have a cushy job, say, that of a banker,
Yeah.
you just do your usual thing. If you have a demanding job, like a teacher or some other position,
Yeah.
then sometimes I like to go into what I call a coma state for the last 10 days.
All kidding aside, I couldn't agree with you more. It becomes almost the last 10 days before the shootout they are so intense in terms of pressure. It's like I barely want to leave my house. And
here's the thing too: you don't want to miss it.
No.
So I don't walk on any uneven ground.
No.
I refuse to lift things above my head.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I won't be unloading groceries. I won't be picking up the twins. None of that. No.
No, none of that is going to happen during the last 10 weeks. I'm basically, if you could lock me in a cryogenic cooler for 10 days, that's what I would do. I'd get out and go play a shootout.
Yeah.
I don't want to miss it.
I agree.
We had to do that against Sledge, but
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, next question comes from Ron in New York, and Ron writes, Dear Captain Breener, what advice do you have for rookies in the Sledge Shootout? We do have 2 rookies this year in the Sledge Shootout, which is always it's anxious for not only, of course, them, and I hope you speak on that a little bit, but also for their teammates. There's nothing quite like Sledge Shootout pressure and to be relying on those guys. And by the random draw, the two rookies both ended up on one team. So, what advice do you have, or what thoughts do you have on that?
Well, it's hard, Sledge, because in all honesty, there's no way to prepare for that pressure.
No.
You may think you have it covered.
Yeah.
You may think you've done everything you could to prepare.
Yeah.
But when you stand over that first 3-foot putt,
yeah, to
have a hole or to win a hole, good luck to you.
Yeah.
And in the alternate shot, the team pressure, because you're terrified of letting your teammate down.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to let that guy who's been there, that veteran, you don't want to let him down by hitting a poor shot. And guess what? You probably will.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Good luck. You know, try to enjoy your time at this year's Sledge Shootout, and I think you'll have a better time next year.
Yeah, you're right. This is something you just have to go through, and we do have two. We do have two rookies. One of whom lives down here, Steve Tanner. He's also a little bit younger than a lot of us, and Steve's a great guy, and he's got a nice career going as a pharmacist. He's yeah, he's a pharmacist.
Does he have access to those? What do you call it? Those beta blockers?
I would guess he does. Yeah.
Calm the nerves.
I understand those are very successful.
Can you say now in front of this audience that this will be a drug-free Sledge Shootout? Because as a captain, I'd be concerned about, whatever substances are out there that allow people to enhance their performance.
Well,
can you make that pledge?
Look, as the chair of the committee and as president, founder, and CEO of the event, this is certainly something that we have discussed. But it's been in closed session. We have not yet felt the need to issue a policy statement or any kind of white paper or anything like that on it. But you bring up
you got a pharmacist on the staff.
Yeah.
The other team, I would think now might be an opportune time to address this issue.
I think you're right. And the thing is, not to compound this potential problem, his wife is a physician. I mean, you could see them working in concert where she's writing scripts and he's filling them. And you're right. This is something that, this was sort of a casual conversation, and it's gotten deathly serious here. This will be a drug-free shootout. I stand by that. Of course, medicinal marijuana is certainly allowed and encouraged if you need that to get through your day. But beyond that, that goes without saying. But beyond that, Breen, this will be a drug-free shootout. I stand by that. If we have to go, the drug testing route, if we have to go the blood testing route, I mean, we will do whatever it takes. But
you don't want the shootout tainted, Sledge.
No one wants that. No one wants that. Also, you want to touch that trophy. You want to touch it with clean hands, and no one wins. No one wins if it's tainted like that. And so, I think, look, rookies are rookies. And they learn, and I think if Steve is reckless enough to even consider that, I think that he will reconsider. No one invited this shootout as anything but of the highest standard of gentlemanly behavior.
But you're saying that Tanner's.
No, I'm saying at the end of the day, Tanner's clean. Tanner's clean. I vouch for Tanner, but you're right. I mean, it has to be tempting, right? I mean, it has to be tempting. Yeah. I mean, to know the pressure.
I had some beta blockers at Glenview, and 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Yeah,
I would. Yeah.
Well, yeah. If it's there, when you start talking about what's at stake, it's yeah. Anyway, I don't want to bring the room down with these serious issues, but certainly in contemporary America today, in contemporary society, these are things people talk about, as things we have to discuss, and certainly as a committee, we feel very serious about it, and we take it seriously. And I think you bring up a fair point. We've never had a pharmacist there. It is something we need to address, and we will.